The movie is set in a dystopian world where most of the human race has been wiped out by a deadly disease upon the dawn of a new dark age. With what's left of human race scurrying for territory and power in a new war, John Wood, a retired Special Forces soldier, seeks to see out the rest of his life in solitude after his infected wife is murdered by Commander Stone, a maniacal leader of a dystopian people. However, when John comes across an injured woman named Maria Johnson, John must decide if he should emerge from his solitude in order to help mankind destroy the disease, thereby regaining world order. Now, before I tell you what John does next, please take a moment right now and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit that bell icon to be the first to know when we have another movie recap ready for you to enjoy. But for now, let's enjoy Last Man Down. The movie begins with John watching helplessly as Stone threatens to kill his wife Amelia if he doesn't give up information concerning 500 infected people who escaped from a village. John tells Stone that he doesn't know where they are before begging Stone to let Amelia go. He even begs Stone to kill him instead, but Stone tells Wood he chose this before he shoots Amelia in the head. Sometime later, John wakes up from a nightmare in a cabin in the woods. After a day of chopping wood, dragging logs, and performing powerful deadlifts, John spends the night reading and drinking alone by a small fire. In his solitude, he has a flashback. He remembers when Stone and his men executed some infected people in cold blood. When he tries to stop Stone and his men, he's simply restrained and labeled a traitor before he's knocked out. In the next scene, while John is still taking some stiff shots of alcohol, he has another flashback. This time, he remembers when Stone tried to explain that he killed Amelia because she was infected, which is according to the rules of this new society. John argues that Amelia wasn't infected, and that they should have tested Amelia to make sure, but Stone reveals that Amelia was tested. However, it appears that she passed the test because Stone claims that those tests are unreliable anyways, and that he'd rather rely on his gut when considering these things. John asks Stone how many innocent people will die for Stone's agenda, but Stone changes the subject by telling John that John is going to be examined because he's immune to the disease. Maybe he can help save some people. Later on, John is held by captives who tell him to cheer up as they lead him to the examination room. However, once they get into the room, John incapacitates a doctor before trying to escape, but then he's blocked by Stone. John attacks Stone and cuts him with a sharp blade before running off. As John attempts his escape, Stone orders his men to contain him, but John beats them all up before escaping. In the present, John becomes wary as he sits by a campfire. His wariness proves accurate because an injured woman appears from the woods and asks him to help her hide before passing out. After John checks on her, he carries her into his cabin. The next day, the woman wakes up frightened of her unfamiliar surroundings, but John promises her that he isn't going to hurt her. Instead, he informs her that her wound is infected, so he has to remove her bullet. After giving some alcohol for the pain, he prepares her for the extraction. Before he removes the bullet, she asks John for his name before asking him if he's a doctor. When he doesn't ask for her name, she tells him her name is Maria before removing the bullet. John is then alarmed to find a military-grade tracking device on the bullet. He asks her who's after her, but she passes out from the pain. This is when John notices barcodes on her wrist. Sometime later, Maria comes to, so she joins John outside. As he chops his wood, he tells Maria that she can only stay with him for a few days because he wants to live in peace. In a flashback, it's revealed that John was a soldier who had seen a lot of action. When he snaps out of his malaise, he finds Maria attempting to chop some wood, so he sends her in to rest her wounds. Later on, as John chops some wood, some soldiers who don't recognize John arrive at the cabin and ask him if he's seen Maria. They tell him she's infected, but John denies seeing anyone. He invites them to search the place, but when they oblige him, he kills two of them before he hears a gunshot inside the cabin. When he runs inside, he discovers that Maria has killed the last soldier with his shotgun. Afterwards, Maria finds John arranging his arsenal, so she speculated that he's no ordinary lumberjack. John replies that he's only trying to prepare for war while praying for peace. Maria asks John what's next, but John tells her she's the one who should know. Maria expresses her eagerness to help, so John gives her a mop to clean up the mess they created. As she cleans the blood, she cuts herself. When she searches for bandages in the bathroom, she finds an empty bottle, which gives her an idea. In the next scene, Granite and Dr. Feldspat, two of Stone's officers, wonder where the mercenaries sent to retrieve Maria are, while some of the other mercenaries train nearby. Feldspat speculates that these mercenaries are dead because they're easily disposable. Feldspat suggests that they send another squad to find out what's going on, but this only infuriates Granite. She interrupts the training session by beating up the mercenaries. When their trainer asks Granite to stop, Granite berates the trainer by telling him to train the men better before stomping off. Back at the cabin, a frustrated John glowers in front of a mirror. Later that night, he asks Maria how she found him, but all she can remember is wandering through the woods after getting shot. She fears more soldiers are on their way. John confirms her fears by telling her about the tracking device. Maria asks John if he wants her to leave, so John tells her she can stay. John tells her that the soldiers told him that she was infected, but Maria tells John that it's a long story. John then reveals that the people looking for her were the ones who killed Amelia. Still haunted by his wife's death, he tells Maria that she'll be safe with him. Maria holds him, but all John can think of is Amelia. John thinks back to a time when Amelia brought him some cake while he was working. They were very much in love with each other. The next day, Maria stands guard while John builds a barricade. Maria notices John isn't afraid. John tells her fear isn't real, unlike pain and death. Maria tells him love and life are real too, but John replies that love and life end, but death is forever, before walking off. Later on, John continues his preparations for the attack by constructing the cabin's defenses. Later that night, Maria reveals that there's a cure to the virus, and that Stone is desperate to get to it so that he can control the remaining humans. John asks her why she's telling him this. Maria reveals that she has a cure in her blood. All John sees in this, though, is that Maria has brought hell to his solitude. He tries to walk away from the fight, but Maria begs him to help her fight so that she can get the cure to the people, but John ignores her and leaves her by the fire. The next day, she finds John cleaning his gun in preparation for the fight. John asks Maria how she learned to shoot, so Maria reveals that she learned to shoot while surviving on her own by robbing people before she was arrested. While in prison, she survived the virus while it killed the other prisoners, and this revealed her immunity. John reveals he figured that she was a jailbird because of her barcode tattoos. Later on, John trains Maria to shoot and aim for the kill. Sometime later, more mercenaries approach John's cabin. After one of them, named Dennis, jokes around by claiming John is some sort of timberman boogeyman, they decide to kill John and split the bounty put on Maria. Meanwhile, John, who is watching out with Maria, goes into an outhouse while Maria carves a stake outside. The mercenaries follow John into the outhouse, only to open the doors and discover it's an ambush. He kills two of the mercenaries, while the third makes Maria his hostage. He's helpless as John kills him with his bow and arrow. After piling up the bodies, John tells Maria that there's only one road leading up to the cabin, and they have 30 minutes before the others show up. This proves true as the mercenaries prepare their attack. Maria asks John how they will stop them, so John shows Maria his extensive arsenal. After getting the weapons ready, both John and Maria see each other naked while they take turns taking showers. Following this, they finalize their preparations. After wearing some Nordic face paint, Maria acknowledges how much of a bad man John is. John doesn't care. He tells Maria to fetch some water. Some people are gonna burn tonight. Unfortunately, as Maria fetches the water, she's ambushed by Feldspat and his men. After confirming that Maria is their target, Feldspat reports back to Stone. However, before anything can be decided, John shows up and kills the mercenaries. Unfortunately, they're unable to stop Feldspat from escaping. Following this, they head back to the cabin while Feldspat calls for backup. Stone is irritated by John's assaults. Stone instructs Feldspat to kill John without harming Maria. Meanwhile, John and Maria kill off the remaining mercenaries. Back at Stone's base, Stone coordinates the siege of John's cabin. His instructions are simple: kill John, apprehend Maria. However, the instructions are easier said than done. John and Maria clean house, which leaves Stone incredulous at John's proficiency. John and Maria stab, burn, and shoot any mercenaries in sight. When they're done, he tells Maria that they need to get rid of all the bodies so that they can scare their enemies. Meanwhile, Stone rages at the fact that he's lost so many men. He sends his team out to find out how many people died. However, the search party only finds Maria and John armed and ready to kill. After killing this set of mercenaries, John goes out hunting for the rest of the mercenaries. Back at the base, Stone and his men plan an ambush by a tunnel. Back in the woods, Feldspat takes on John, while Maria hides a bottle in a bush. Moments later, she's ambushed by some mercenaries. Amazingly, she takes them all down and kills them by herself. Back in the woods, Feldspat defeats John before heading out to Maria. While this is going on, Maria gets shot by a mercenary. She's unaware that Feldspat is coming for her. Luckily, John wakes up and heads to Maria. Feldspat abducts Maria and heads back to Stone while John searches for them. Back at the base, Stone tries to rally his men, but a mercenary interrupts him by telling him that Feldspat is on his way with Maria. Stone kills the man for interrupting his speech. However, Feldspat gets interrupted by John in the tunnels, which leads to a fight. Stone sends more men to kill John. Meanwhile, after a grueling battle, John kills Feldspat before running away from the approaching mercenaries. Despite their best efforts to fight off the mercenaries and escape, John is shot. They manage to hide away from the mercenaries in a hidden room. John tells Maria to stay there while he faces them. Although Maria protests that she doesn't want to live without him, John implores her to stay behind while he faces the mercenaries alone. John manages to escape from the tunnels, but his injuries are too much for him to continue in his full pump. Worse still, Stone and his men ambush him at the end of the tunnel. Stone is amazed when he realizes that it's John who's causing all this trouble. After they reunite, it's revealed that Wood and Stone are brothers. Stone changed his name because he always thought Wood sounded weak. Moreover, he hated their father, who always favored John over him. Stone asks John for Maria's whereabouts, but John tells him he killed her. Stone calls his bluff because John could never kill an innocent person. Stone unleashes his mercenaries on John so that he can spill the truth, but despite the beating, John holds his tongue. Frustrated at John's strong will, Stone orders his men to kill him. John then calls Stone a coward before challenging Stone to a fight to the death. Last man down, John and Stone. Despite his injuries, John rallies to come out on top and beat Stone down. Stone grabs a gun and threatens to shoot John, but strangely enough, he's incapable of pulling the trigger. This leads to a struggle for the gun, which ends. This ends when the gun goes off and Stone slumps to his death after taking the bullet. In the aftermath, Granite thanks John for saving her the trouble of killing Stone. She had plans to do it herself. Before she kills him, Maria appears with grenades and tells him to leave John alone. She makes a deal to go with them if they free John. Granite agrees, so they take her away while John watches. As the chopper flies away, John swears he'll find her. In the final scenes, The mercenaries celebrate the fact that they have the cure, which means that they have the power to set a new world order, because they are now in control of the future and a new era. They take away Maria's grenades as they head north. They're unaware that Maria left 3 vials of her blood with John, along with instructions to give it to the people, so that they can develop a cure and save humanity. And that was our recap of Last Man Down. Hope you guys liked it. We also have some other recaps on our channel, so go check that out as well if you have some more time. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.